Thank you so much for being interested in learning about Chapelwood United Methodist Church's vision, mission, and values. We call it Chapelwood Unique because we used Church Unique, a particular model and book to organize our thoughts about vision, mission, and values. This is what we call our visual summary. First, we have to think about what church is about. One of the ways to do that is to frame up the issues, especially looking for clarity. So the 5 questions that we're interested in is: what are we doing? Why are we doing it? How are we doing it? And when are we successful? And where is God taking us in the midst of that? To answer the first question, what are we doing? We believe at Chapelwood United Methodist Church that we exist to help people take the next step in their faith journey with Christ. We use this as a compass to help us know exactly what we should be about. It helps us with alignment. It helps us with understanding everything on the calendar should be engaged in helping people take their next step. We phrase faith journey with Christ because not everybody is at a point of becoming a Christian. Many people are taking those prevenient grace steps prior to accepting a relationship with Jesus. And then, of course, there are the justifying and sanctifying experiences that continue our journey with Christ, which our journey doesn't ever end. We continue to walk with Christ. The values that we use, we call them the 4 things to see at Chapelwood. Those 4 things to see at Chapelwood are caring, connecting, celebrating, Christian growth. We believe that values are shared convictions that guide the actions and reveal the strengths of our church. We tell new members that if you ever experience worship at Chapelwood that is not caring, does not connect you to God and those around you, that is not celebrating, and doesn't lead you into Christian growth, please tell a church leader, because we've obviously walked away from our values. When we talk about strategy, or how are we going about doing what we do, we talk about it in the way of worship, connect, grow, and serve. We believe that people look for a church in our community most often at 11 o'clock on Sunday morning. And so worship needs to be with good values. It needs to be caring, connecting, celebrating, and bring people to Christian growth. It also needs to be of high value and high production quality so that people want to come back again to experience more of what this church has to offer. When they come back, we hope to make sure that they are connected with their neighbor and connected with God. Connect is the strategy area that includes fellowship, but also pastoral care. We recognize that people do not walk in the door whole, that often and truthfully said, all of us are wounded in some way. So congregational care and Stephen ministry is quite a highlight. In fact, we introduce a Stephen minister for the purpose of praying with people one-on-one at the end of every worship service. The third area of strategy is grow. This is traditionally that Christian education experience. We call it grow because not everybody connects with Sunday school. And so our grow hour on Sunday morning is for small groups to meet. We also have small groups that meet in the evening, and we recognize that everybody has a small group, whether you're a child, a youth, or an adult. And then lastly, if you have learned in the Grow Hour about this guy named Jesus, you might learn a lot of things about Jesus, but we really want to make sure that you learn that Jesus gives it all away, that as the Son of God, he is fully God and fully human, and he chooses to give his life up for us. And so we invite people to give it all away through serving others with nothing expected in return, Hands-on mission is one of the ways that the denomination refers to it, but we try to connect people to a serve opportunity. We recognize that this is a linear process at this point. People come in through worship. We want to encourage them towards regular worship, into Connect. In Connect, we offer them grow opportunities. From grow opportunities, we hope that they are motivated into serve opportunities. We recognize that younger generations come to the church through serve, and so we try really hard to make sure that serve opportunities are not membership bound. We make sure that serve opportunities are places where people can be invited to come and participate without heavy pressure to come to church. Insanity is working hard but not knowing when the work is done. So we know when we're successful when we hit our life marks. The life marks at Chapelwood are worshiping beyond trends, praying beyond our wants, connecting beyond family, witnessing beyond bumper stickers, growing beyond fear, and caring beyond ourselves. Notice that the word beyond is in all of them. Chapelwood originally was started as a very mission-oriented church. Every sanctuary that they've built, and there's been 3 in their history, there's been a focal point behind the altar of a large window with a cross outside the window. The cross reminds the church that Jesus is beyond the walls of this church, that to be the hands and feet of Jesus, we have to get beyond where we are. You might notice that each strategy area maps to benchmarks. So worship and prayer map to worship. Worshiping beyond trends, praying beyond our wants maps to worship. Connecting beyond family and witnessing beyond bumper stickers connects to connect. Growing beyond fear goes back to grow. And caring beyond ourselves goes back to serve. And then when we put it all together, when we frame up the process, we find that we answer the question, what are we doing, with taking our next step in our faith journey with Christ. We answer the question, why are we doing it, through the values, which are the 4 things to see at Chapelwood: caring, connecting, celebrating, Christian growth. And we know when we're successful because we find it in our life marks, moving beyond. And we know how we're going to go about doing it. We're going to do it by walking people through a discipleship pathway of worship, connect, grow, and serve. Lastly, the 5th question, where is God taking us? Well, that vision proper changes with time. Currently, we're addressing a strategic vision proper, which is about aligning our ministries with raising a generation in faith. This has a lot to do not just with children's ministry and youth ministry, but enriching and equipping adults to role model a vital Christian faith. Because studies show the kind of faith that your kid will have as an adult is the kind of faith that you have right now. Lastly, I wanted to show we loosely use this strategy matrix, and it's read from the bottom up, right? So you can see at the bottom, worship, connect, grow, and serve. Those are our strategy areas. But we recognize that not everybody, for example, for serve, will commit to a 1-week international mission trip to Belize funded by their own pocket. So we recognize that people have to be given entry points into the strategy areas. In the same way that people won't do disciple Bible study the first time they visit the church, we also need to give them study opportunities that walk them into a life of growing with others. So you can see on the bottom the strategy areas in bold, and then the next level up is kind of an easy benchmark to work towards, right? So we try to work people towards attending regularly, whatever that means for them. Also, we make sure that they have connected with friends, that maybe they've been invited to a short-term Bible study, and that they are aware of one-time, no strings attached opportunities to serve. And then those progress beyond that. And we try to organize and align the work of both staff and our key leaders into promoting these things to happen. Thank you so much for listening to Chapelwood United Methodist Church in Lake Jackson, Texas. to our vision, mission, and values. We hope to see you on a Sunday morning soon.